Sewage systems play a significant role in all settlements. Can you imagine what would happen without them? Our planet, with a population of about 8 billion, would probably be removed from the visit list of extraterrestrial civilizations. Jokes aside, we often associate sewers only with waste, and no one wonders what's going on there. On the other hand, apart from bad smells and murky waters, quite strange things can emerge from there. From sewer alligators to sewer monsters, here are the weirdest things discovered in sewers. Enjoy watching. Sewer crocodile. In 2019, 12-year-old Hannah Seiler from Mississippi went outside to search for her missing cat. Any cat owner knows that these creatures can hide in the most unexpected places. As Hannah worried about her poor lost cat, she stumbled upon something even more terrifying. Outside her home in the sewer, Hannah saw a pair of yellow eyes staring back at her, and they definitely didn't belong to her cat. What she saw was an alligator lurking in the dark sewer. Thankfully, Hannah immediately recognized the animal and ran screaming back to her house. Hearing her cries, neighbors rushed to her side and asked what had happened. When they heard the story, they were as horrified as Hannah and quickly contacted the authorities. Animal control arrived within minutes and removed the reptile from the sewer system. Upon closer inspection, they realized it was just a baby. However, an alligator is still an alligator, and being young doesn't mean it's not dangerous. Experts, especially in Florida, which is home to millions of alligators, advise people to be very cautious when near bodies of water. In the past decade, many people in the US have reported close encounters and even attacks by alligators in places that seem safe, like lakes and ponds. While it makes sense for alligators to be in water bodies, we don't think a sewer is a suitable place for a carnivorous reptile. As for Hannah's cat, we're not sure if she ever found it, but we hope that after this harrowing day, her beloved pet returned home. A cannonball from the Civil War. In 2013, workers cleaning a sewer line in the state of Indiana, USA, discovered something hollow and made of metal in the sewer. To clearly see what the object was, they washed away all the debris with water. The workers were shocked to find out that what they had discovered was a cannonball from the Civil War era. Naturally, they weren't expecting to find something like this 150 years after the war had ended, especially not in a sewer line. Moreover, the cannonball was in pretty good condition. However, despite the years that have passed, no official explanation was given as to how the cannonball ended up there. Traces of the hurricane. Hurricane Katrina was one of the most devastating natural disasters to hit the USA. Even years after the event, some states still bear the scars of those days. Just 14 years after Hurricane Katrina ravaged New Orleans and the southern coasts of America, authorities found a car in one of the city's underground drainage canals. In recent years, the increasing drainage problems in New Orleans' mid-city area were exacerbating the effects of flooding. Eventually, the root of all these issues became clear. Authorities announced the discovery of hundreds of tons of debris in the underground infrastructure, including a Mazda 626. The car had been reported missing on August 29, 2005. This was the day the storm hit the city with full force, and naturally, it was assumed that the vehicle was swept away by floodwaters. Even though the car was discovered underground, it was 76 meters away from the canal's exit. It likely had been carried to its location by flowing water over the 14 years. The Mazda wasn't the only vehicle found in the sewer. Another car, a truck bed, and a large sofa were also retrieved. The discovery of the two cars prompted officials to inspect other parts of the drainage system. Who knows what the sewer system has been hosting over the years? Salvation of the newborn baby. In 2018, residents of Jinhua City in China woke up to a chilling news story. Authorities made history by rescuing a newborn baby from an apartment sewage pipe. The child was only a few hours old, and the placenta was still attached. The rescue team carefully cut each section of the pipe to avoid harming the baby. Given that the pipe's diameter was only 7.5 cm, the team had to be incredibly cautious, especially when cutting the section that covered the baby's head. According to the landlord's statement, in the early hours of the day, one of the apartment residents contacted the landlord about a strange noise coming from the pipes. It later emerged that the caller was the newborn's mother. She claimed to have accidentally given birth in the toilet and only noticed the baby after flushing. As you might guess, many were skeptical about the veracity of her claims. After being retrieved from the pipe, the baby was immediately taken to the hospital for treatment. The little fighter proved to be resilient and quickly regained health. Police officers launched an investigation into the baby's mother. Lost ring. Rings are among the many items that can fall into the sewer. Typically with a diameter of no more than 16 millimeters, they can easily get lost among the waste in the sewer. Sarah Wolf lost her solitaire ring in this way. After dropping her ring down the bathroom drain, Wolf didn't think she'd ever see it again. However, there was light at the end of the tunnel, or, in this case, the sewer. A worker doing routine sewer cleaning near a local health center found the missing ring. He said something small and shiny caught his eye, and he immediately recognized it as a valuable ring. With the help of the city's Facebook page, Sarah was reunited with her ring a year later. Of course, she was thrilled to have found it, but the jewelry had been sitting in filth and waste for a year and needed a deep cleaning. So they sent the ring back to the company they bought it from. Surprisingly, the company decided to gift Sarah a necklace with a special engraving. They didn't stop there. They also gave a special gift to the honest worker. Rolex. In 2012, a worker from England found 4 Rolex watches while cleaning the sewer. Aaron, the worker, discovered a Rolex mixed with the muck while cleaning a drain near Chalkwell train station and immediately handed it over to the nearest police station. Since there was no recorded theft report for the item, if no one came to claim it, the watch would remain with Aaron. To give a rough estimate, the starting price of the watch could be said to be around $4,500. A few days later, the owner of the gold Rolex, which was a collector's item, came to the station. He said the watch was a gift from his wife, who had recently passed away, and was one of the items he lost when his house was burgled one night. Grateful for being reunited with the memento from his wife, the man thanked Aaron for his honesty and gave him a cash reward. Later on, Aaron discovered 3 more luxury watches, but they weren't original. He could have easily made money if he hadn't handed over the first Rolex to the authorities, but sleeping with a clear conscience was more valuable than money. Adventurous cow. One of the last things you might expect to see in a sewer is a cow. Of course, after what we've seen so far, who knows if you'd be surprised? In 2010, a cow left villagers in Fujian province, China, in astonishment. The cow, which had been missing for 4 days, somehow found itself in the sewer. Passers-by near the sewer noticed something was amiss when they heard muffled sounds coming from underground. They looked through an open manhole cover and locked eyes with the cow. The villagers quickly reached out to the cow's owner and fed and watered the adorable accident victim until he arrived. Thankfully, the animal seemed to be in good shape. Eventually, the cow's owner arrived with a makeshift crane. Those watching the rescue were once again amazed at the animal's calm demeanor. After being pulled out of the sewer, the cow nonchalantly continued on its way, found a patch of grass and started grazing. Under normal circumstances, cows don't feel the need to venture elsewhere as long as they have grass and water. But it seems they can be adventurous on rare occasions. Fatbergs. We can imagine you're trying to make sense of this image. These are fatbergs, large solid masses of waste, the name implying fat mountains. Just looking at the picture might be enough to guess how bad they smell. The term fatberg emerged in parts of the UK and Europe after the discovery of several such fat masses. In 2017, sewer workers found a 130-ton fat mass in the London sewer system, primarily made up of sanitary products and cooking fat. In 2019, another fatberg weighing 40 tons, the size of a double-decker bus, was extracted from a sewer in London. Workers used high-powered hoses to break down this massive fat and other putrid materials to remove them from the system. Once the substance was softened enough, the workers began manually cleaning the sewer. We believe these capeless heroes who prevent our toilets and pipes from clogging deserve a worldwide thank you. Sewer monster. From a distance, it might look like a pulsating heart, but upon closer inspection, you might realize that this formation is actually a tangled mass of creatures. This mysterious monster worm can emerge in sewers around the world, especially in the USA. When its video was first uploaded to the internet, many people began to wildly theorize about what this wriggling creature could be. Some claimed that the mass in the footage was the heart of an alien, while others suggested it was a mutant monster from the sewer. In reality, what you're seeing is nothing more than a colony of tubifex worms, also known as sewer worms. If you keep fish at home, you probably know that these worms are harmless. Of course, being harmless doesn't change the fact that they look terrifying. Tubifex worms are sold as fish food in pet stores. Of course, those tubifex are raised in clean environments. Can you imagine feeding your home fish with a tubifex worm from the sewer? The mere thought is enough to send shivers down one's spine. Sheep stuck in a manhole. If you live in an area with a large number of sheep, you might have noticed that these herbivores occasionally stray from the flock. Normally quite docile, these animals can sometimes get overly distracted. In England, a land surveyor noticed a sheep had fallen into a manhole while he was taking measurements. He called for help to extract the animal. Thankfully, the sheep, much like the cow we mentioned earlier, remained calm and didn't cause any trouble. In fact, it didn't even seem bothered by its predicament. No one knew how long the animal had been in the manhole, but everyone was relieved that it wasn't harmed in any way. Eventually, the sheep was reunited with its flock and continued on its way. This incident once again highlighted the serious dangers posed by open manhole covers. Giant mouse. Sewers are home to many cockroaches, worms, and rats. It's estimated that around 1.6 million rats live in sewers worldwide. However, we doubt that any rat in the world could measure up to the one found in Mexico City. In 2020, workers cleaning the sewer system of Mexico City were stunned to come across a rat the size of a bear. The creature was even larger than an adult human and required the assistance of several people to remove. Just look at this beast. The workers immediately rinsed off the rat, and as all the grime washed away, the truth was revealed. The bear-sized rat turned out to be a garden decoration belonging to a local resident. It had been swept away by strong winds during a storm and eventually ended up in the sewer. The discovery led to a very happy reunion for the owner of the decoration. However, we can't say the same for the workers who initially thought they had encountered a mutant. Dinosaur fossil. In 2010, a group of workers digging a sewer system in Edmonton, Canada, stumbled upon a colossal dinosaur. Of course, it wasn't a living, breathing dinosaur, but rather its remains. Excitedly extracting the find from the sewer system, the workers immediately contacted the authorities. While many dinosaur bones have been discovered in Canada, no one expected the next discovery to be amidst human waste. Even more astonishing was that the bones were believed to belong to two famous dinosaurs that lived around 70 million years ago. The fossils were thought to be from a Tyrannosaurus and an Edmontosaurus. Can you imagine the surprise of the workers encountering bones in the murky and dirty waters? Authorities believed there might be more fossils in the area where the bones were found, so the workers continued their work with caution. Whether they came across something even more exciting remains unknown. Unfortunate snake. In various parts of the world, many people encounter snakes and even rats in toilet bowls. Although rare, how does this happen? An example that might answer this occurred in 2017 in the town of Caernarfon, England. A worker at a sewage plant came across a snake about 1 meter long inside a street drain. In this region, especially where people are present, snakes are seldom seen, so the facility worker was quite surprised. At the same time, corn snakes like this one are native to North America, therefore he thought the snake was a pet. Being small and slender, it likely entered the toilet drain and ventured into the sewage system. While searching for a juicy rat, the snake must have been disappointed to end up amidst human waste. Although these discoveries are surprising, most of them are rare occurrences. You don't need to be terrified that a snake or rat might emerge from your drain. However, it's a good idea to be careful when removing valuable items in places like bathrooms and toilets. Have you ever experienced any of the incidents we discussed today? If you have similar adventures, feel free to share in the comments. See you in the next videos.